Hello everyone, the start of another 3-game week is upon us for the Championship. We've just had a week off in the division, not for Blackburn Ipswich though. They've had to play each other, obviously in that rearranged game which should have taken place back in September, late September, was played in midweek, so no respite for them. The rest of us though, a week off, and we'll be reflecting on round 18 like we do. My predictions, and we'll then look forward to round 19 where we'll predict every single championship game, try to predict the future. Never goes well. So I had two, kind of three, I'll talk about it in a bit, two correct bob-ons. I had Coventry 3, Charlton 1. I had Birmingham 2, Watford 1. Sheffield Wednesday against Preston was a correct outcome. Everything else was pretty appalling. Blackburn 1, Ipswich 1, which I predicted obviously back in September. I'm going to count it as this. I'm going to take the win. I predicted that result exactly. So I'll count it. We'll now look forward to round 19. We'll start Friday night where Hull play Middlesbrough. Hull, the great entertainers, they won. Did they go 3 defeats in a row? Might have been back-to-back defeats. Anyway, they didn't win for a little while. They actually didn't score at home against Ipswich. They went away to Stoke, and I've seen firsthand what Stoke can do to teams at Bet365. And Hull went there, conceded the first goal, brilliant goal by Sorba Thomas, but stuck in there, got the equaliser second half early on, and then won the game later on through Joe Gelhardt, who was really, really looking like a top striker. For this division, we always knew he had the talent. It's just about bringing it out to the front, and Joe Gelhardt is doing that now. They're playing a Middlesbrough side in Kim Hellberg's Middlesbrough side now, who were very, very, very good against Derby. A lot of possession, a lot of control, a lot of chances. So I think this might be a good game. Might be a little bit more open compared to what could have been under Rob Edwards. So I don't trust myself enough to go for a Desmond, so I will go for the draw. I can't really back either side to win. There's, I think, two pretty decent sides in a lot of departments. So yeah, I'll go Hull 1, Middlesbrough 1. For Saturday, we'll go to Watford, where Norwich are the visitors. And Norwich, hallelujah, finally won a home game. They're back on the road though, so I won't make too much difference, but that will give them so much confidence. And they look like they were pretty good value for it. A lot of individuals' performances were massively stepped up, and you'd want, from a Norwich perspective, this to be the start of a run. Watford are a good team, however, and they were pretty decent against Birmingham. Bit unlucky to not get something from that, and that first half killed them. They've got some good players. Watford, they're definitely a very competitive side for this division. But Norwich are good. They just haven't shown it this season. We know they have good players. I think they'll have the confidence now to go to any place in the division and try and be competitive. I think it'll be difficult for Watford, in the league position for Norwich. Well, we knew that anyway. Was a bit of a a fair reflection on what they are as a squad. So I'll go for the Desmond. I'll go Watford 2, Norwich 2. Maybe the Watford and Hull predictions should be flipped, but whatever. Derby against Leicester. This is a Midlands derby, isn't it? Involving Derby. Don't get confused. This should be very intriguing because Leicester are horrid. They're really bad. The start of their game against Sheffield United, they obviously lost that 3-2. Absolutely annihilated for 20-25 minutes, and United were 3-0 up in no time. And yeah, so toxic out the King Power at the minute. So potentially a little bit better if they go away from home. But the performances have just not been convincing wherever they're playing. Leicester, they just look really, really terrible. I think they're like 16th on the table, somewhere in that region. They're really terrible. Derby lost but Middlesbrough maybe a little bit too passive in the second half. Didn't have a shot in the second half. That's how defensive and passive they were. I think they'll get something at Pride Park against Leicester. Whether or not they'll win, Leicester have got the quality though, haven't they? Despite them being in a low league position, they have got the quality to just turn it on. And we've seen it earlier on the season with Leicester, where they weren't playing that well. They scored a goal from the outside of the box, scored a long range effort, something like that. Even Jordan James to get back into the game, make it 3-2, scored a long range deflected effort. Can they do something like that at Pride Park? I think it's going to be difficult. I'm going to go Derby to win and Martis Cifuentes to be probably on borrowed time. Derby 2, Leicester 1 in that particular Midlands derby. Swansea versus Oxford. This feels like a big game for both sides. Swansea 2-0 up, 1-0 up inside 11 seconds, and West Brom, but managed to lose the game 3-2. That's what losing teams do. Oxford, you've got to say fair play. I mean, what a win against Ipswich that was. They laid out a plan, they executed it perfectly, and it might sound a little bit sort of disrespectful of that sort of phrasing, but when you play a team like Ipswich and you're any team that's not got anywhere near as power as a parachute team, you've got to set up a plan, very clear, very organised plan of, well, yeah, being organised, as I've just said. And you've got to execute it perfectly, and not everything really went for Oxford. And what Oxford under Garrett have typically, they've been quite good in these games where they've played a Swansea. They also got a last-minute equaliser at Norwich the other week, where they went away to Sheffield Wednesday and won, didn't they? So yeah, they lost home to Sheffield United, but this feels like a game if Oxford get something from. That'll be a pretty good couple of games for them. 4 points from those two games against Ipswich and Swansea away would be a pretty decent outcome. So I will go for that. I will go for Oxford to get something on the road, and Swansea maybe just to falter a little bit longer. I'll go Swansea 1, Oxford 1. Oh, this is a good one. Southampton against Birmingham. In fact, got a couple of really good fixtures coming up. Southampton and Birmingham. Blues are not as good on the road as they are at St Andrews. We've seen that. I think they've won 4 in a row at St Andrews, potentially. I think three games where they've scored 4 goals. Southampton are a bit hot and cold. Obviously, a lot more hot recently than cold. They won 3 in a row, scored a lot of goals, and then lost late on. And Millwall can happen. This will be an interesting game. If Birmingham go there, get something, get a good performance, score some goals, that'll be a real testament. They're really serious. We know they're really serious anyway. Really top 6, top 4 contender. But I think I'll go for Southampton to bounce back, just because of the away struggles that Birmingham have had in recent times, pretty much the whole season. So I'll go Southampton 2, Birmingham 1 at St Mary's. Sheffield United versus Stoke. There's also a pretty decent game, this isn't it? Sheffield United have won 3 games in a row. They look pretty good. They won at Leicester last time out, didn't they? And they've scored. The goal scoring problems have seemed to disappear. Tom Cannon scored in a couple of games as well. So if they can get him up and running with Patrick Bamford, who I thought when he came on against Sheffield Wednesday, that was his old debut. Obviously, I thought he looked pretty decent. Stoke lost at home to Hull. They really want to get that behind them. This is a tough game at the moment. Again, do not be fooled by United's league position. They're a good team under Chris Wilder. You know that. So I'll back Blades to go 4 in a row. I don't think they'll score 3 against Mark Robins' side. I think it'll be 1s and 0s. So I'll go for that. I'll go 1-0 Blades at Bramall Lane. This might be match of the weekend. Ipswich versus Coventry. Screaming goals, isn't it? Absolutely screaming at me. Will I ignore that? Maybe. Potentially. I could see. This is obviously incredible attacks. Coventry scored 50,000 goals already. And Ipswich have got an incredibly good attack on paper. It isn't clicking. It is not clicking. And they've tried many things. They've tried changing the 10s. They've tried changing the wingers. The whole forward line's been reconfigured. The only things that have really sort of stayed the same have been the centre-backs. Kip Ray and O'Shea have been pretty decent. Leif Davis, obviously, very, very good. Left back of this division. Darnell Furlong. Keeper stayed the same. Everything else has been. Matasi was stayed in there, but then it's been Kiyust and Nunez and Jack Taylor. It all feels very, very incoherent at the minute. So, and whereas Coventry, very stable. You know what they're going to get. Okay, they've had slight injury issues when they lost at Wrexham. They had 3 out of their back 4 missing. So they had slight problems, but generally very stable. Pretty much the opposite. And they've got a team that's ticking and clicking and scoring loads of goals and being very convincing. If Coventry go to Ipswich and win, we've said statement victories and that. They've already gone to Middlesbrough and won. They've already gone to Stoke and won. I think this will be the biggest of them all. So I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to go for goals as well. So ignore what I said about ignoring the screaming at goals. I'm going to go Ipswich 2, Coventry 3. That would be some result for golf, and yeah, we'll talk about hypotheticals and theory and stuff, but my goodness, if Coventry go to Ipswich and win, might as well hand them the title now. Let's move on to Preston versus Wrexham. This is definitely not screaming goals at me, and Wrexham have been very patchy. No, not very patchy. That's very harsh, actually. It's completely incorrect. They've been very consistent, and there's been a complete pattern, is what I meant to say, not patchy, pattern. Uh, they've had a pattern. Win, draw, win, draw, win, draw. They drew their last game, so theoretically they should be winning this game. But Preston away is difficult, very difficult. Preston very good at home this season. They've only lost a few games at home this campaign, and typically against the teams they should be beating, they don't lose. Probably do beat them as well. I'm not saying the Wrexham at home is a game you should be winning, I'm not saying that at all, but they'll see this opportunity for getting something at home. So I'll back Heckingbottom to get something. Yeah. Preston 1, Wrexham 0. Maybe Phil Parkinson to get a job done on him. QPR versus West Brom. This feels like a game where both managers could do for a win. So this is obviously going to end up in an unhelpful draw. So I'm just going to go with that straight off the bat. I'm going to go QPR 1, West Brom 1. Literally straight off the bat. Two sides who at their best are going to be top 6 contenders. Two sides at their worst are going to be lower mid table. And I think both sides have got some good attacking quality. I can list them all, but you just need a little bit more, particularly from West Brom at the minute. You just need a little bit more. They went 2-0 against Swansea, won 3-2, but Swansea are in disarray at the moment. You need a little bit more from Albion, a little bit more conviction. So I'll go for the draw at Loftus Road. Penultimately, it is Bristol City versus Millwall. This is humongous for Bristol City because yes, we're only 18 games into the season, but this is a serious litmus test as to where we are. A home game against third place Millwall, who are in really good form. Bristol City just come off the back of an away win. We're getting our players back. There needs to be. I'm not saying this is a must win, but this feels like a game where last season, not as much pressure, but equivalent enough to the West Brom game at Ashton Gate, the Sunderland game at Ashton Gate, where there's pressure and it's against a team who are in and around you in the league table, and if you can win, you can really start to think, oh, okay, we might be in this conversation come May, might really be in this conversation come May, and potentially overtake them for the time being as well. Can Bristol City do it? I think Millwall are a very, very good side. I think it's going to be really difficult for Bristol City to do it, and I'm not confident enough. I'm quite pessimistic, so I'm not confident enough in myself to predict a Bristol City win. So I'll go for the draw. I'll sit on the fence. I could easily see that going all three directions in terms of results. So here's hoping Bristol City can get what would be a quite important 3 points, especially considering the run of fixtures we've got. We've got Leicester in next midweek, then you've got Coventry away on the weekend as well. So this is. Sorry, did I say Leicester away? I think I meant Leicester at home and then Coventry away. That's what I meant. So this is a real incredibly difficult and important 3-game week for Bristol City. So I'll go for the point to start things off at home. And finally, Blackburn versus Sheffield Wednesday. Blackburn consider themselves a little bit unlucky. They didn't beat Ipswich at Ewood Park. Conceded last minute equaliser. Ipswich were a bit meh, very, very average Ipswich on the day. Blackburn probably deserved the win, didn't get it. They play like that against Sheffield Wednesday, probably do win the game, don't you? So, yeah, I'll go for the home win. Blackburn 2, Wednesday 0. And yeah, Wednesday's miserable season, -6, further -6 to continue. But that is it. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. All 12 championship predictions would be fantastic. Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Enjoy the weekend of championship football. Keep safe, and I'll catch you all later. Cheers.